Hey guys, welcome back. So glad to have you here today. We're going to do a really fun leg workout using a lot of different yoga poses to help build that strength, that balance, that control that you're looking for. So go ahead and grab your mat, get a little bit of space. Carpet is doable, but a harder floor may make balancing a little bit easier. So go ahead, get yourself ready, and let's get started. So we're going to do just a nice, easy way of warming up the hips. Let me see if I can get spaced the right way. Okay, so I want one knee facing towards you, that way you can see what you're doing. And we're just gonna kind of switch the hips from side to side like this. All right, so let's just start warming them up a little bit. A lot of these postures that we're gonna be doing today are going to be a lot through the hips. I mean, when you're using your legs, that's where they attach to your body. So we need the hips warmed up and ready to move. That way, you get a lot more mobility here, and you're not asking the mobility to come from your knees where you're more likely to get injured. And just a little bit of movement can go a long ways waking up the body. Let's just do a couple more from side to side. And I am ready. If you are ready, let's go ahead and come to the top of our mat and get started. So the first one is chair into boat pose. So in chair, you bring the base of the big toes to touch, you sit down, reach towards the ceiling. That part doesn't matter so much, is that we sit really deep. And when you're sitting in this chair pose, make sure that you're anchoring down base of the big toe, base of the pinky toe, and in your heel. All right, so we got a minute. We're gonna sit into this chair. We're gonna sit all the way down, lift up to boat, come right back to your chair. All right, so 1 minute is set. Couple seconds to get going, and let's do it. So chair, sit down, nice and easy with control. Sit, lift, back to chair. So if that part's really hard for you and you're like, Kelsey, I cannot do that, use your hands as much as you need to get back onto your feet. Maybe open the legs, arms between. Sit nice and low. That way we're not straightening the legs at all. They're just coming into a nice deep chair. Feel something in those thighs. Already halfway. Not too bad, right? Definitely a good workout for the hip flexors whenever we're in this boat pose. Ooh, the hip flexors are working. 15 more seconds. Get a couple more in. My thighs are starting to say hello. Last one, I'm thinking. There we go. All right, there's the timer. So let's just keep moving right into the next one. There'll be a little bit of rest anyways, because I can be a chatterbox. And then the next one, we are just gonna move from side to side in Skandasana, or ninja, side lunge, whatever you wanna call it. So the side lunge pose, walk the hands over to the second side, and we're just gonna kind of move fluidly from one side to the next. So maybe you can sit all the way up and no hands it. Maybe you need to kind of drape the fingertips. Maybe you're full on putting some weight into your hands. So work where you need to work. Do what you can do. Here is our minute. Let's go. And the point of this is to not go fast, but to move smoothly. And staying as low to the ground as we can definitely puts more of the work into the legs. Now, some of you may not be able to get your foot flat like I'm able to on your bent leg side, and that's okay. You can be up on the balls of your toes. It just makes the balance a little bit more of an issue. You may need your hands a little bit more. And it can completely be normal for you, the way that your ankle is structurally built, or it could just be very, very tight ankles, very tight feet, and it will get better with time. So just work with what you got. Almost done here. 10 more seconds. Keep that pelvic floor lifted. Glad we didn't save this one for last. Woo. All right. Another fun one, a yoga squat into a fold. So in a yoga squat, I'll face the camera, toes out, heels in. Again, another one where you may be up here more like this because of your ankles, because of tension through your feet, and that's okay. So be where you need to be. Maybe you need to keep the hands down on the ground, Maybe you can keep them at your heart. And we're just gonna stay really low in our squat, straighten the legs and fold. Squat, fold. And we're not gonna stay in any posture long. We're going to keep moving for that full minute. All right, here we go. 1 minute is set, with or without the hands, up to you. Let's do it. Starting in that squat, and lift the hips. I'm not gonna fully straighten my legs. Little tiny bend to the knees. That keeps the legs working so that there's not a whole lot of resting, just movement in and out. Make sure though that you keep breathing, especially inhaling right here as you start to lift your head once again. That way you don't get dizzy. If you start getting dizzy, by all means, slow it down, use the hands, or even stop and get some water. Woo! You would think that this should have been like super easy, and it's more challenging than it sounds. But the hips are going to like it. Lots of mobility happening here. Lots of lubricating that big joint. Strengthening the quads and the hamstrings. There we go. Woo! Nice job. After this, we have a reverse lunge. So I'm gonna start with my right foot behind me, and I'm gonna drop that right knee towards the ground, lift the right knee up. Step it back, drop it, lift it up, forward. And we'll do a full minute on each side. So go ahead and get ready. Right foot first. You can step it back behind the left. 1 minute is set. Let's go for it. So right knee down, knee lifts. And I kind of alternate with the arms. So when my knee lifts, my left arm comes forward. And we're not resting the knee on the ground, just a gentle tap so I know I went nice and deep. Trust that standing leg. Trust your left leg in this time. It's got you. Ground down through all 4 corners of that left foot. Squeeze the upper thighs in towards each other, helping keep a little bit of a balance. You're more than halfway. Keep going. Gonna be working the glutes in this one. Definitely the calf too on that left side. Almost done. Last one. Let's not waste any time. Let's get right into that second one. So the left foot is gonna step back, starting in that reverse lunge, that low lunge. I get gaspy since I talk too much. All right, left foot is behind, timer is set. Let's bring it down, bring that left knee forward. Nice, smooth, steady motions. Again, we're not trying to go super fast. We're worrying more about having good form, activating the muscles that we want to use, and staying in control of the motion. Not saying that I won't ever wobble and I don't ever fall, because I certainly do, especially when I look towards the camera. We all do. But by slowing it down and being aware of the movements we're making, we're more likely to stay stable and less likely to get injured. Getting there. Less than 10 seconds. Last 2. Woo! Nice. All right. So we have all angles leg lifts. So full minute. I'm going to lift the leg towards noon. 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, and then reverse at 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We'll just go through it for a minute. We'll switch legs. Let's start with the right, because that just makes sense to me. Timer set. Here we go. So it'll be 1, 2, switch the hip. 5, 6, reverse it. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 12. Here we go again. 1, 2, 3, switch it. 4, 5, 6, 6, 5, 4. You guys know what you're doing. Now it's up to you if you want to point the toe, demi-point the toe, flex the foot. Doesn't really matter. Try to straighten the leg as much as you can. So if that means it only gets a few inches off the ground, that's fine. It doesn't matter. Ooh, that standing leg is working. Finish it up. Woo, yeah, finish up your round. If you didn't make it all the way back up, always want to even things out. Shake off that left leg. We got a second side. Timer is ready to go. Am I? Yes, yes, I'm ready to go. So are you. Let's do it. Left leg. Noon, 11, 10, 9, switch the hip, 8, 7, 6, reverse that. Woo. Working those hips, working the glutes, the quads, the hamstrings, it's all working. Keep your chest lifted. Square your shoulders as best you can. Square your hips as best you can. Stand up nice and tall, as if somebody's pulling you right from the crown of your head, as if you had a ponytail there. Let's get through this last cycle. Doesn't matter if the timer goes off, finish it up. We don't quit when we're tired. We quit when we're done. I think it's gonna line up perfectly. There we go. Finish up if you're not done yet. Give you just a moment. Find out what we're doing next. All right, we're just gonna be hanging out in chair pose for a minute and switching legs from one-legged chair. So we're just gonna be crossing the right ankle over the left knee, sitting low, staying low. And if that's too hard for you to get that big external hip rotation without using your hand, of course you can use your hand if that's not too hard for you, or you can just lift. Lift. Lift one leg. You can even lift them back behind you. But get used to bringing that weight into the opposite leg. If you're able though, cross an ankle over the opposite knee. Stay low. So we're working on balance, external hip rotation, mobility. Here we go, 1 minute set. Let's do it. Start with the right. Stay nice and low. Never know where to put my hands if they can't reach up. I guess they can reach up. That'll definitely take things up another level, won't it? Whenever the arms are reaching, and especially if the palms are touching, it's tougher. Stay low, stay low. Keep those knees bent. Sit down in that chair that you think is there, halfway. This one's not as bad as I thought it would be. Not sure if you're feeling the same thing. We all have different things we need to work on, so I get you. If this is the one you're hating, I got my own that I have a hard time with too. Last one. Good job. Woo. Alrighty, what is we got going on next? Goddess pose. So we gotta work the calves a little bit too. It's a big hip opener. Gonna be working the quads and the hamstrings because they're holding our strength. But because we're gonna raise those heels, we're gonna get the calves involved too. So, with goddess pose, you want the heels in, the toes facing out, and you want your hips, your knees, your toes all in a nice line together. Don't drop the knee in or let the hip pull the knee out. Get a nice line, okay? And then we're just gonna right foot, left foot, both feet. Right, left, both. All right? feeling good. Maybe we'll pulse it at the end for a few seconds to really get that burn. Got 1 minute set. Here we go. Right, left, both. And this too, you can have very, very tight feet, and so you can have a hard time with this, but this will help you gain strength through the balls of your feet, through your arches. So even if you feel like, mine doesn't look like yours, it's okay. It doesn't have to. We're all gonna be at different places. Should try to hold that double toe for a little bit longer and not just rush right through it. Right, left, both. Keep the chest lifted. Still locking my gaze, my drishti in on something, because it is tough to lift both heels at the same time. Last little bit here. You're almost done. Woo! Ooh, yeah. The legs are feeling it. Shake it out a little bit. Shake it out. Let's just do a 30-second pulse in goddess pose. So we're just gonna stay in that same position. We're just gonna pulse it, pulse it, pulse it, okay? So just hang out there with me. Let's do our best. Timer's not gonna go off because I have it set for 1 minute, but I'll let you know when the 30 seconds is up. Let's make our way into position, and we're just gonna pulse it for this 30 seconds. Just keeping the pelvic floor lifted, belly pulled in, and just sitting into this goddess pose. Maybe you wanna reach the arms up or out like cactus branches, hands at the heart, on the legs. Do you? Because it don't matter. Just be here for it. Woo, 10 more seconds. These pulses are seriously, for me, very intense. So I know they're tough. And 2 seconds, and done. Woo! Straightening those legs at the end. So important. All right, 2 more exercises left. You guys are doing so, so good. The next one we're doing is a hinge. So I know for me this can be a little bit hard on the knees, and maybe it's hard on you too. A little extra padding under the knees is perfect. A towel folded into quarters would be good, or take your mat and double it over. And then we're just gonna have our knees about hips width, maybe slightly wider if you need that for, you know, you already have a hip that likes to be open rather than that internal rotation. And then we're just gonna lean back. All right, so you lean back as much as you can, keeping the core engaged, and come right back up. So if your quads were in fire before, they're gonna be lit now, all right? Let's do it, timer set. Find that hinge. Might help to reach the arms out, kind of helping, ooh, so that you can pull forward. I feel like you're gonna lose it on your way back. If this hurts your knees at all, guys, and the padding isn't helping, by all means, skip this one. The last thing you wanna do is injure your knees. So just be there for what you can do without judgment. Halfway, you're getting there. Need to put a cushion back behind me just so I can see how far can I really lean. Those inner thighs start to squeeze when I get as far back as I can go. 10 more seconds. Try not to arch through the back, but keep the pelvis tucked underneath you. Last 2. I'm gonna squeeze 1 more in. There we go. Woo! Nice job. All right, we have 1 more exercise that we gotta do, a right side and a left side, so I kind of tricked you. It's kind of like 2 more, but you can do it. So it's definitely a challenge because we are balancing, but we're gonna finish hard. So we're gonna start with this right leg down. We're going to wrap the left leg around. This is eagle pose. So if the left leg is on top, it wants to be closer to the left arm, so the left arm wraps underneath. So think about bringing the top leg closer to the same arm. Left leg on top, left arm underneath. And you can just bring the backs of the hands together, or you can interlace all the way. So once we are in that eagle pose, hold for a second, shift forward, warrior 3. Come back, wind it up, unwind it, find that balance. 1 minute per side. I'm gonna add a couple seconds just so I can get into the posture. All right, I'm gonna ground down through that right foot, left leg on top, left arm underneath, hold that eagle, and then fly. Ooh. You can bring the arms out ahead of you if you like. I will knock into my plants. You could bring your arms to your heart as well. Think about dropping this left hip down and into place. You don't want to hike it all the way up or let it fall too far down. This is definitely going to challenge the balance. So if you wobble, if you fall, don't beat yourself up. Just come back. Just come back. Without judgment, without frustration. 20 more seconds. Hang in there. That right foot is working to ground down through all four corners, keeping you balanced. There we go. Whew. Shake out that right foot. That was hard work. Take a minute, catch your breath. We gotta just do the left side, and that's it. Lots of balance stuff today. I was definitely feeling that in the muscles in the front of my shin, which I was not expecting. So maybe you're feeling that too, which is cool. Protects your knee, having a nice strong muscle here. Okay, let's just get it done, no more rambling. We gotta do it on the right now. So now we're gonna ground down on the right, wrap the left leg. I said that already, sorry. Ground down through the left foot, wrap the right leg. Now the right arm goes underneath, and then we fly. Alrighty, timer is set. Left leg is grounding. Here we go. So I'm gonna wrap the right leg on top, right arm underneath, shift forward, drop the chest, and fly. I don't know if you noticed, but I did start to wobble there. I just real quick dropped the toe, maintained my balance, got it back together, and then went right into the next posture. So you will get better at that, especially if you don't waste the time getting mad and frustrated, like, oh, I fell, oh. So what? We all do. It's going to happen. Will you get back up? You are way more than halfway. Focus your breath, focus your mind. Whew. That left leg was talking. Very good job today, guys. Hopefully that showed you that even in yoga postures, you can definitely keep building that strength, building awareness, building strength, control. There we go. You can do it. And you can definitely become stronger and more aware with just using your yoga practice. Make sure that you guys drink your water, especially if you notice that you were getting a little lightheaded, a little dizzy when you're going from squatting to standing. Water can make a huge difference on keeping your blood pressure a little higher and a more safe level when you're exercising. Please be sure to hit up that like button, subscribe, leave me a comment down below on what you'd like to see on this channel more. And that is it for today, guys. Take care. Namaste.